Well, fuck. Hey everybody, this is Fernando from the Rollback Podcast, and you know what day it is. It is Wednesday, so we have a rewind for you. I just finished watching the movie Ouija Origin of Evil, the prequel to Ouija. I never saw that original movie, the one with the dumb teenagers, because it looked like straight trash. This one, I was told, was far better. And they were really right. This movie was actually really pleasantly fucking scary. Like with horror movies now, it's I don't know, sometimes it gets iffy. I want to say it was movies like Insidious, Paranormal Activity, the first Conjuring, that really started to play up the jump scares, and thus kind of foregoing the idea of making a overall scary environment. But there is those rare gems that you'll catch every once in a while, and I want to say that this one is pretty much one of them. I mean, the cast in this movie was really good. Let me just read off the names real quick. So the cast is as follows: Elizabeth Reeser as Alice, Lulu Wilson as Doris, Annalise Basso as Pauline. So these are going to be the main three of the movie. Elizabeth playing Alice, the mom, Lulu playing Doris, the youngest daughter, and Annalise playing Paulina, the oldest child, sorry. And Lulu Wilson, I remember when I saw the trailer for this movie when it was coming out, and I was like, wait a minute, isn't this the same girl from Annabelle Creation? It is. She came out in Annabelle Creation. I believe she plays the girl who gets overall possessed by the spirit, the spirit of Annabelle. And then she did this movie pretty much right after, so it's pretty nuts to see her just bang out two horror movies year after year. No, but I mean, this movie was really well done. I really had no expectations coming into this movie. As far as I knew, I was just like, it's a movie about a Ouija board. How scary can a Ouija board can be? And it turns out it can get pretty fucking scary. What this movie did really well was creating that overall atmosphere and not so much playing on the aspect of jump scares. While there is some jump scares, they work really well. When you just have cheap jump scares, it just cheapens the movie, and eventually people are just going to get sick of it. That happened with The Nun, and that happened with the movie La Llorona. I know I said that one pretty good. That's right, I'm Hispanic. What's up? But yeah, this movie doesn't really play up on the jump scares. It's not so much like, ooh, pop-up scare, ooh, pop-up scare, ooh, pop-up scare every 5 minutes like a beat. Like, this movie just, it gives you enough of that jump to where you're just like, ooh, like, that's a good one. Or, like, just that overall sense of, like, disturbance. And it seems like with horror movies right now, it's kind of like in a power struggle, to be honest. So horror movies right now, it's kind of divided into the jump scare format that was made popular by movies like Paranormal Activity, Conjuring, Insidious, the James Wan movies more so, and the really artsy horror movies. I'm not going to be like reviewing them. They're very long, very boring. The only one that I thought was somewhat decent was Hereditary. The one with what's her face from Fighting with My Family. That one is god awful. No, never. Just don't watch it. The Lodge, saw that one was certified fresh. It's certified boring and certified trash. That's what that is. And that might mean I'm uncultured. But, you know what? Who cares? It's my review. Kick rocks. And with this movie, it really just plays up on the genre of jump scares, but not just overdoing it. So the story follows Alice as a sort of medium where she reads people's fortunes, she gives people closure, and her daughters are in on the scam. She has her daughters manipulate the house to make it seem as though there's ghosts in the house, but in the end it's not. It's just them fucking with people. Yeah, in the end it's just them fucking with people. So we see them get their hands on... Well, we actually see Paulina get her hands on a Ouija board when she sneaks out of the house. And then Alice, her mom, buys one, and she starts fucking around with it, because what can go wrong when you fuck around with a Ouija board? That's right, everybody. Absolutely everything can go wrong. And so she starts messing around with this Ouija board, and it takes a hold of her daughter, because unbeknownst to them, they are sitting on a poltergeist type situation where their house is, a murder house, and all of the spirits in there are absolutely positively pissed. They are absolutely pissed and angry, so it's not going to go well for this family. So yes, we see them basically. So the mom, at first, when it's revealed that Doris has this ability where she can speak to these entities, she pretty much just milks her daughter for all she's worth and uses her to bang up some business because they're about to foreclose on the house. And so she uses her daughter to, get some money out of her, and turns out, like, the more she starts using her, the more the daughter starts getting more possessed, and the more that you start to see, like, oh shit, like, my daughter's getting messed up from this. And it's not until, I believe, oh man, there's just one scene where, I'm sorry if I veer off, that's just how my mind works. But there's this one scene where the boy who likes Paulina shows up to the house, and she starts describing to him what it feels like to be choked to death. And he's just looking at her like, what the fuck? And this girl, she does creepy really well. She knocks that shit out of the park. Her creepiness is just, wow, superb. 10 out of 10 creepy. I'll give it to her. So we see her, basically she starts turning from having somewhat of control over this ability to not having any control whatsoever. And the thing just starts taking over with her. The mom starts using her more. And things just start going wrong. Pauline is the only one that really seems to notice, and she brings it to the attention of the priests. And she shows the priest these letters that reveals that there was this Nazi doctor from the war who moved there when he escaped, and he was still, like, experimenting on people in that house. And then we come to find out that there's bodies buried in the basement. There's like a makeshift wall that's separating them from the bodies. And at that same moment, we see the stupid boyfriend show up again, and he ends up getting clapped by the little girl too. And so, yeah, so that's pretty much where the crescendo of the movie starts hitting. The priest starts explaining to the mom, like, hey, like, I'm not calling your daughter a fraud. Like, I don't think she's a fraud. The fact that the mom is more worried about the priest calling her daughter a fraud is so fucking baffling to me. But yeah, so he's like, I'm not calling your daughter a fraud. I believe she has a gift, but I don't think it's who you think she's talking to. She's not talking to the deceased people that she claims to be. The way that these demons work, or this entity works, is that it's basically reading your mind. So whatever you read in your mind, it's going to go based off of that. And so the priest does some trickery to get the demon to slip up. And he basically deduces that, he's lying. He's lying about everything, which does not work out too well for the priest, and it never really does. These type of deals never really work out for priests, do they? So the priest makes his way downstairs. He tries to get the daughter back. He goes through the crevice that leads into that makeshift room where the doctor was experimenting on people. And, you know what happens. The priest gets caught and he dies. And it's just like, man, dude, most of the time in these type of movies, when demons see priests, they're like, oh, fuck, man, that's a priest over there. Do you see that? That's a fucking priest right there. That's a fucking priest. Look at the priest. He's right there. He's right there. Look at the fucking priest. He's right there. And in this movie, the demon's like, oh, that's a priest. We can take him. And they take him. They take him out real easily. His biggest idea is when this entity attacks him, he decides to start saying the Our Father. Hey, bro, even me as a Catholic, I'm not just going to start spitting out the Our Father when a demon's there. I'm kicking rocks out of there. And there's one particular moment just prior to this scene where Paulina is telling her mom, no, like, we have to do this together. It's our house, and that's my sister, yada, yada, yada. And she points out the best thing ever. She's just like, and splitting up is the stupidest thing that we could do right now. And it's true, because in every fucking horror movie, the main character is always like, let's split up. And you never split up. What did we not learn from Scream, from Friday the 13th, from Halloween, from Nightmare on Elm Street? You do not split up in horror movies. So, they make the bold decision of not splitting up. Doesn't work out for them in the end. But, hey, you know what? It's always better in numbers. So, they have a better chance. So, yes, the priest goes downstairs. He gets murked by the demon. And then next thing you know, the demon gets Paulina, starts whispering in her ear, and she goes like, and God knows what the demon is saying to her. I think it's just a form of possession, but yeah, she like whispers in their ear. The mom tries to stop the demon from doing it. She's like, take me instead. And the demon's like, I'll take all of you. Wasn't expecting that one, were you, Mom? So she gets knocked out. She's getting dragged into the basement. And so Paulina wakes up. She's awakened by her dad. It turns out her dad, who had passed away, was in the house watching over them. And we're at a part where Paulina, she goes and she sews up her sister's mouth. She sews it up with needle and thread. To stop her from whispering and saying the voices into people's ears. And we think, it's over, it's done, it's over and done with. Wrong. She fucking stabs the mom in the gut. And kills her. And it turns out she was still like a little bit possessed. She still had that little bit of possession in her. And then next thing you know, it cuts to black. It turns out the sister Paulina gets put into a mental institution because she killed her mom. And Doris is nowhere to be found. you could really tell that Pauline is just absolutely bonkers out of her mind in the mental institution. Because the doctor's like, hey, like, you've been here 2 months, we don't know where your sister is, and you won't talk to us. We haven't had a conversation. But yeah, you, like, just her demeanor, you could just tell, like, that this chick is fucking bonkered out of her mind. And we see her go back to her room. She fucking lifts up the carpet like it's nothing. And then I think she bites off a fingernail and uses the blood to fucking make a makeshift Ouija board to call her sister. And she does. The last scene, you see the doctor walk by the room, and then he notices something, he turns back, and boom, there's the fucking redhead right there just staring at him through the window. And then he goes and stares at her back, and then in the background, you just see the fucking sister walking upside down on the ceiling. And you're just like, what the fuck? So yeah, I watched this movie in pitch black in my room with my dark as fuck closet wide open where the demons can get me. So, just a normal night. But overall, I just want to go a little bit overall over the movie. Overall, the movie was actually really enjoyable. I feel like that's the biggest problem with horror movies nowadays, is that they're just so focused on scaring you the whole time that you can't enjoy the movie. This one, like, you're pretty much, like, it scares you. Like, there's plenty of parts where the fucking movie scares you. But, no, like, this movie is engaging. You like this movie. Sorry, I hiccuped. You like this movie, and you're very engaged with the movie. You like what you're seeing, things of that sort. The casting in the movie was really well. I really can't say much about the casting. I hadn't seen many of them in any other movies. The only ones that really stuck out to me was the one that played Doris, and then the one that played Paulina. Doris because she came out in Annabelle Creation, and then Paulina because I'm a huge Bones fan. For those of you that don't know, I love Bones. Even the later season when it starts to get real cheesy. She comes out, I believe, in the season 6 finale when Bones reveals that she's pregnant with Booth's kid. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Bones, you know what, man, then you're just not gonna watch Bones. It already ended. Kick rocks. But yeah, I remember her from that, ironically. The priest, Henry Thomas, never saw him in anything, to be honest. The director, Mike Flanagan, did he direct Dr. Sleep? The fuck out of here. Holy shit, he directed Dr. Sleep. Dr. Sleep is one of my favorite movies of last year. It is so fucking good. It is such a surprise, like, hit. The fact that the director of Ouija directed Dr. Sleep, you know what? It makes complete fucking sense why this movie's good. Props to him. The dude does good fucking movies. Just going through his IMDb real quick. He also did the movie Hush. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on Netflix. It's the one about a deaf mute girl who's being stalked by a serial killer. But yeah, you should really fucking see those two movies. This dude is really fucking good. Holy shit, I did not know that it was him that did it. But yeah, please go check it out. It is such a good watch. Ouija, I don't think it's out anywhere, like, for free. I rented it for $4 on Vudu, so just give it a shot. That's $4 well spent. It's not anything that's gonna break the bank. You'll like it. I promise you'll like it. It gets the Ferny Golden Seal of Approval. But anyways, this is the end of the podcast, everybody. We're going to be putting out some new stuff. I just put out Stranger Things 2 review on the website. It is under my tab, under the rollback.net. If you go to our Facebook page, we have the link tree there. We have the link tree that leads to all of our sites for Spotify, for Google, for iTunes, for our website, etc. Anything and everything where you can find us. It's going to be on there. But the main website is therollback.net. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. The Rollback, people. Check us out. Share us. Send us to your grandma. She's a nice lady. She deserves us. But anyways, yes, we have reached the end of the show. Just check out our stuff. Remember, stuff comes out every Wednesday and Saturdays. Sometimes a little some will come out. Maybe I'll be doing a bunch of double headers this month because of Halloween. Who knows? But yeah, please check us out. This is Fernando from the motherfucking Rollback. Cut it.